In today's biased news, the crisis in Haiti continues, McConnell's second freeze-up raises questions of gerontocracy, and Europe hits green energy milestones. As the humanitarian situation in Haiti worsens, demonstrations have erupted against escalating gang violence that has resulted in shootings around the capital. The Haitian police were blamed for being unable to maintain order, which was met with tear gas and incidences of police violence. Protester grievances include lack of access to quality healthcare, security concerns, rising gang criminality, and kidnappings. One protester said, quote, "We can't live like this anymore. The other neighborhoods are gangsterized. People are abandoning their homes." The UN Refugee Agency has stated that nearly 80,000 people have fled Haiti in the past year, mostly due to poverty, lack of opportunity, and increased instability. The general unmet need for humanitarian aid affects over 5 million people, nearly half the population. The US Embassy in the capital has closed several times as a result of the violence that American policy helped create on the island. This week, the embassy urged all US citizens to leave as soon as possible due to, quote, security and infrastructure challenges. After decades of IMF-sponsored gutting, Haiti continues to be an overexploited nation at the mercy of its former colonial master and the local hegemon, the United States. Following independence, the country was isolated and subsequently violently occupied for 19 years by the US in the early 20th century. It continued to control Haiti's public finances until 1947. Siphoning away nearly 40% of the national income to service debt repayments to the US and France. The egalitarian French, meanwhile, demanded payment for granting independence, which Haiti was forced to pay at gunpoint through high-interest loans taken from French banks. The island nation was required to pay the French government, including leftover slaveholders and their descendants, the equivalent of between $20 and $30 billion in today's money, which took Haiti 122 years to pay off. The French economist Thomas Piketty has argued that France owes Haiti at least $28 billion, which the French, under several governments, categorically refused. When you understand this history, it's not surprising that such a country continues to be poor, uneducated, and overexploited. Unlike their free neighbor Cuba, Haiti continues to be another glowing success story of the capitalist system. Over 70 lives were lost in a devastating fire that engulfed a 5-story Johannesburg apartment building. The structure, owned by municipal authorities, was in a state of disrepair, and some rooms may have been rented out by criminal gangs. Witnesses described horrifying scenes, including individuals jumping from windows to escape. Among the victims were 12 children, with over 50 others injured. The South African president expressed his condolences. The building also had historical significance as an apartheid-era heritage site. Johannesburg continues to grapple with extreme inequality, a lack of housing affecting over 1.2 million people, and chronic power shortages. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Niger's ruling government has ordered the expulsion of the French ambassador, citing actions against Niger's interests. France disputes the government's authority, and tensions are on the rise as Niger follows a trend of distancing itself from a former colonial power. The EU plans to draft sanctions, while the anti-imperialist sentiment in the region only grows stronger. In the world's most powerful gerontocracy, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell experienced another public episode of freezing up, lasting over 30 seconds, during a press appearance in Kentucky. The incident raised concerns about the health of aging members of Congress, as 81-year-old McConnell appeared disoriented and required questions to be repeated. This is the second such episode in a little over a month, with a similar occurrence in July, where McConnell had to be led away due to feeling lightheaded. Critics highlight the age factor in politics, with McConnell's incident sparking discussions about the fitness of older politicians for office. Many top officials in Washington are of very advanced age, with concerns being raised not only about their health, but their ability to represent the country in the interest of the youth and coming generations. In an interesting twist in the Russo-Ukraine war, the UA military intelligence chief, Budanov, has claimed that the recent drone attack on a Russian airbase was launched from within Russia itself. The attack resulted in the destruction of 2 cargo planes, and the damaging of 2 more. Budanov did not specify whether the attack was carried out by Ukrainian or Russian operatives. Ukrainian officials have been relatively quiet about attacks inside Russia, but recently they seem to have become more willing to acknowledge them as part of their war effort as the campaign intensifies. And to end with some positive news, the European Union has experienced a significant decline in burning coal and gas for electricity generation this year, reaching a record low. This decline, amounting to a 17% reduction in fossil fuel generation during the first 6 months of the year, is attributed to decreased electricity demand and a surge in renewable energy sources, with solar increasing by 13% and wind by 5%. What's more, 17 European countries achieved record levels of clean energy generation, with Greece surpassing 50% from renewable sources for the first time, and Denmark and Portugal exceeding 75%. Analysts suggest that coal and gas have become less favorable due to their cost and risk factors, leading the EU to reduce their reliance on these polluting sources of energy. That's all for today. We'll be back on Monday with more news. If you'd like to see longer episodes with more in-depth analysis, consider becoming a patron so we can grow and expand.